What is up, everyone? It's Reaper here, and today I'm going over Classroom of the Elite. I know it's not in line with my normal content, alright? So at first glance, this looks like just another basic high school anime, like you've seen 100 times already. Students, classes, rankings, maybe some drama here and there, nothing crazy. But that's exactly why people get it wrong. Because what's actually going on is underneath, is way deeper than it looks. And the craziest part is that the more normal it feels at the start, the more it's actually setting up something else. It's subtle, almost too subtle. But once you notice it, you really can't unsee it. So if you've been sleeping on Classroom of the Elite, this is why you should probably watch it. On the surface, yeah, it's just a prestigious high school where students get ranked and rewarded based on performance. You earn points, move up, get benefits. It all sounds simple, but it's not really about the school. It's about control, manipulation, and how far people are willing to go when the system is literally designed to make everyone compete. And that's where it starts to feel different, because this isn't your typical story. It leans way more into psychology than people expect. Characters aren't reacting, they're thinking ahead, calculating, and everyone feels like they're playing their own game, even when it doesn't look like it. And the show doesn't just throw everything at you immediately either. It builds slowly, but when things finally start clicking, it hits way harder because of that. Now, the world itself is a big reason why this works. Because at first, the school seems fair. Do well, and you're good. Do bad, and you struggle. Simple. But it's really not like that. The system is built to create pressure and competition at every level. Every decision matters. Even the small ones, and sometimes it's not about doing the right thing. It's about doing the smart thing. And the reason there's competition is because they have everyone in different classes based on academic level and pure strategy, skill, intelligence alone. A, B, C, and D. The lower classes obviously want to beat Class A. That's where all the tension comes from. Conflict comes from those who want to rise up against another class or another school year. They want the most points, and they want to be the highest in the entire school. They want to be well known. They want control. And that's what gives this series a big difference above all others. Then you've got Ayano Koji. And yeah, he's probably the biggest reason people either get hooked or completely misunderstand the show. Because when you first see him, he doesn't stand out at all. He's quiet, reserved, low-key emotionless, and compared to other main character, he just feels different. So a lot of people think he's just boring. But that's the point, because the more you actually pay attention to him, the more you realize something's off, in a good way. Like he's always watching. He doesn't rush into anything. He doesn't show what he's thinking, and when things start happening, you realize he's always a few steps ahead. He's not trying to be the center of attention. That's what makes him different above all other main characters. But at the same time, he's never really out of control. And that slow realization is what makes him so interesting to watch. And that really ties into what makes this show stand out, the mind games. Because instead of constant action or flashy scenes, it builds tension through strategy. Conversations actually mean something. Decisions are calculated. People are predicting, planning, sometimes manipulating everything without anyone noticing. And once you start picking up on that, you watch the show completely different. Now, one of the biggest reasons people don't give the show a chance is because of how it starts. Because a lot of people see it and think it's just another high school anime. And yeah, that's exactly what it wants you to think. That's the surface. But if you stop there, you're missing the entire point. Because it's not about the setting. It's about what happens inside of it. Another thing is the pacing. Some people say it's slow at the beginning, like nothing's really happening. Now, I've watched season 1 before, and I will say, you don't realize the main character's true potential until the last episode. Or if you're actually paying attention, a little before, maybe 3 episodes or so, he starts manipulating the tests. He starts seeing things that other people don't pay attention to. And one of his classmates starts noticing him, and he says to back off. And that begs the question, what are you really hiding? What are you capable of, Ayano Koji? And that is the big ball drop. But that slower start is what makes everything else work. It's setting up characters, the rules, the relationships. But without that, the bigger moments wouldn't hit. So yeah, it takes a little patience, but it pays off. Don't compare this to One Piece, because I promise you, it doesn't take that long. And then back to Ayano again, because this is where people get stuck. They say he's too emotionless, like he doesn't react enough. But that nature does not come from him alone. He wasn't raised in a proper environment to experience emotions normally, as a human being normally does. It goes further into that later. He's unpredictable, you can't read him. You don't know what he's thinking of what he's gonna do next. And that alone creates tension. He's just a different kind of main character, and that's part of it why it works. So what is this actually for? If you like shows where you actually have to pay attention, this is for you. If you like psychological tension more than the non-stop action, you'll like this. And if you like characters that aren't easy to figure out, that's another reason. Because this isn't something you just throw on in the background. You actually have to engage with it. And the best part is, it doesn't stay at that surface level. Because as it goes on, everything starts evolving. The strategies get deeper. The stakes get even higher. Characters start showing more layers, and things that seemed small before start to matter way more. You start seeing connections, patterns, everything differently. And it actually rewards you for paying attention. By the time you really get into it, it doesn't even feel like a school anime anymore. It feels like a game. Everyone is playing their own game differently. Like everyone's trying to stay a step ahead. And that shift from something simple to something complex is what makes it stand out. So, in conclusion, it just seems like another school anime at first. That's the impression that gives. But now you get to know it's more than that. And if you actually give it a real chance, you'll probably see why people get hooked onto it. And with that being said, I really recommend you give this anime a try, because it indeed changed the way I see the world. And I had my doubts when I came into it. And for my own input, I'd like to say this anime is much more complex than meets the eye. It's exciting. It throws you off balance. And for what it's worth, I won't spoil anything more, but the fight scenes in it are genuinely the most choreographed things in history of anime. It even goes to show that an anime that goes into psychology or manipulation can't have cool fight scenes or anything engaging, but this changes that. And with the new season 4 premiere, it even goes as far as showing more fight scenes than in the previous seasons. And the animators really took their time this season. They really care about the light novel. If you haven't read the light novel, you don't have to, because we're already seeing a lot. Season 4 has 16 episodes, and I promise you, you will never get bored. And with that in conclusion, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and decide to give Classroom of the Elite a final chance. If you guys like this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
こんなつまらない作業で心は動かない。ああ、それだ龍炎。